Okay, what's your biggest enemy? By the way, sup bro, be my friend. Welcome back to another podcast with AI, and I just recorded a beautiful one. But my biggest enemy now is technic, right? The technical difficulties, as always. I just recorded. Like the bad thing is you can't really check. Like the audio is saying I'm recording, the audio is saying everything's fine. Okay, I will do it in just a quick video, and I will summarize the best points. So this video is actually a better one, okay? Because fuck this technical difficulties. I just recorded a beauty. Okay, it was 13 minutes long, and you can check the audio saying everything fine, perfect. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. I first asked, we are back with another podcast episode. I'm excited to be here. So why is complete indulgence and complete relaxation alone so dangerous? And I asked, sometimes you're taking a warm bath and you're like so relaxed that hurt yourself because the dopamine is so crazy, right? The dopamine goes high, and after that, when you're alone especially, you're like, yeah, that warm bath was nice, but even when I'm doing something fun now, it doesn't seem that crazy. Complete indulgence and relaxation, especially when you're done excessively alone, can lead to a few potential issues. First, it may cause neglect of responsibilities. Bro, I've just read like, look, this is how much I just read in the video. And it hurts. It hurts a little bit, but we get to the bad point. So, summarizing it, what I've learned is that, yes, as you grow older, so first of all, the alone thing, summarizing thing was warm bath, dopamine being alone. Yes, taking a warm bath can feel amazing. This effect is more noticeable when you're alone. You overuse pleasure. It can feel amazing, but especially when you're alone, it gives a temporary sense of relief, safety, and high pleasure through dopamine and serotonin levels. But the calm down, the drop, can make you feel worse afterwards, especially if there's something stimulating, if there's nothing stimulating or connecting waiting for you after. Now, dopamine sensitivity in aging is something really, really interesting because the neural pruning and dopamine regulation matures. As we get older, the brain streamlines its reward system, especially after puberty. You might not release as much dopamine for the same stimuli, but you might feel the contrast more clearly. The crash after something pleasurable feels more noticeable. Kids live in the moment, less meta-awareness. Children are immersed, they don't usually reflect on experience. They are the experience. Adults add a second layer. They don't just feel, they evaluate, compare, and judge the feeling. So it's not just the appearance that changes, it's also the awareness of how it affects you. Hot versus cold water analogy. Brilliant example. Warm water gives a soft, safe dopamine release, but it's almost too comfortable. Cold water, on the other hand, activates the adrenaline, triggers a reset effect. The after feeling of cold water is more often energizing and stabilizing than warm water. So what's the danger? If you lean too much into warm, comforting pleasures like baths, soft lighting, lying in bed, etc., without challenge or contrast, you risk becoming hypersensitive to anything unpleasant, needing more of that comfort to feel okay, feeling empty or low once the dopamine drops off. That's why small doses of discomfort like cold water, effort, social contact, movement help regulate and balance pleasure. TLDR, yes, warm baths feel great, but can leave a low after. As we age, we're not just more sensitive to dopamine, we're also more aware of our own ups and downs. Kids just experience. Adults often analyze and compare. It's not about avoiding comfort, it's about not relying on it too much. And then I asked, well, how can we go back to that kid thing? Like, how can we live in a moment almost like a kid and come back to that point of, obviously, you can have experiences, pay for experiences that it's first time experiences that are fun and everything, but how is that achievable for free? How can we actually, while we have those worries in our minds for money, for responsibilities and everything, how can we have some of that or most of that kid thinking and being indulged in the moment? It said, this question is gold. It touches something everyone silently craves. How to live vividly again, like when we were kids, without needing to buy it back. Here's grounded, honest breakdown, and then we will move into how to achieve it for free. What made childhood feel so alive? Novelty. Everything was new, first time, first feelings. Presence. Kids don't zoom out to narrate or judge the moment. They earn it. No mental weight. No thoughts of bills, careers, health fears. Just the now. Playfulness. They let themselves be ridiculous without shame. Low control. Kids don't try to manage everything. They accept chaos and go with it. How to return to that without paying for it. Micro novelty. You don't need to travel, just change how you use the room you are in. Sit on the floor instead of a chair. Eat with your fingers. Speak out loud to yourself. Dance with new music. Novelty is often free, just needs permission. Do it differently today, even slightly, and the brain wakes up. Limit zoomed out thinking. When we constantly watch ourselves, analyze and compare, we split from the experience. Try giving yourself small windows of time where you refuse to judge, even just 10 minutes of pure action. Feel it, don't label it. 3. Daily play without purpose. Play means doing something just to feel it, not to gain, prove or achieve. Example, scribbling nonsense on paper, freestyling sounds, pretending to act, jumping from one tile to another like lava. Adults feel play because it leads nowhere. That's the point. 4. Spontaneity experiments. Let yourself do one random thing a day with zero logic. Example, talk to a tree, walk different routes, sing one sentence very loud. This loosens the brain grip on control and restores flow. 5. Let yourself forget. Even 5 minutes of forgetting who you are trying to be. No ambition, no history, no role. Kids don't need to become anything. They already are. You can access this by closing your eyes and saying, right now I don't need to be anyone for anyone. So what's the trick? You don't need to be a child again. You need to allow yourself to be unguarded again. You're not trying to undo adulthood. You just crave out small spaces where you're not burdened by it. And those spaces are free. They live in how you walk, how you breathe, how you let your attention drop into the feeling of your body rather than the story in your head. One liner for your podcast to summarize. Being a kid wasn't about age, it was about access. Access to presence, play, and permission. And we don't grow out of it, we just grow over it. Thank you for watching. If this happened again, technical difficulties, oh fucking...